I hope you're happy, Bethesda fanboys. Paid mods are back, and they're already in Skyrim, and this time, they're never gonna get removed. And the next place where they're gonna appear is Starfield, obviously. But every Bethesda game, even old ones, will get paid mod support. Don't you worry about that. And you know what's the best part about this? Now Bethesda will not even finish 20% of any game they ever are making. Because why would they? Because the moment you introduce paid mods that are easily accessible by everyone, you know what that means. You know what happens. Bethesda no longer needs to finish games at all. Every game is going to be as buggy as Starfield and Fallout 76. Because if Bethesda finishes games, they lose money. The beauty of paid mods is the fact that Bethesda no longer needs to finish a single game. Now the modders are going to literally finish the game for them, and they're going to ask you money so you can finally actually get the real end game, while already you have paid full box price for it in the first place. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful.
Earlier today, Skyrim got a 12GB new update and basically a new DLC, as paid mods have returned to Skyrim. This is the long-awaited creations of
basically new DLC. Wow.
update. I covered the fact that this was coming in a past video, and there's really just a lot to unpack here. Because not only does this have a huge impact on Skyrim and its future, but Skyrim itself also just generally got an update here. Some things about the game are different. In response to paid mods, we're seeing some mod authors already pull their mods, and it's pretty likely that this all comes to Starfield as well, which has some pretty big implications
obviously
for the future. But now in Skyrim, after downloading the new update, you'll find a completely new menu labeled Creations, and this alone is honestly a giant change, as this new menu includes both paid and free content in a single area. So you're going to have some of the totally new creations that just launched earlier today here with this update, but also all of the old Creation Club.
Oh yeah. Well, Bethesda is going to iron out the small issues later on, because at some point, everything is going to be paid. Because what's the point of having a shop where you can sell mods if you're giving the mods away for free? Yeah, not a lot of point to that now, is there? They're obviously gonna limit some kind of things. For example, whatever this is, Headman's Cleaver. If this is a single item mod, that just delete it.
Content will be available here, and just all of the general mods. That entire mod section is now inclusive
Female body renewal. That's going to be a popular mod.
in the Creations menu. So downloading mods in-game and managing your load order is always going to be handled here now. There was a UI overhaul to go along with this, and you can actually find the same reflected on the Bethesda.net website.
There's going to be a mod that you download that handles the mod loading order for you, so nothing breaks at some point, by the way.
To commemorate this launch, several new paid mods were released earlier today, all created by community members who are now known as verified creators.
Nice.
And right off the bat, there is a ton of new content here if you're willing to pay for it. The East Empire expansion adds in a fully voiced new questline where you can work to build up the East Empire in Skyrim. As you go through the quest, you'll gain unique benefits as a result, like these trade outposts being established all around Skyrim, and the East Empire itself being able to transport or even sell your junk for you. As you progress through the quest, your rewards will get better and better, and this is all fully voiced.
In short, if you want to gather and then store all the items you wish to take from a place, such as this.
But in addition to this, there are some simpler additions, like tougher and even new dungeons added into the game. There's a totally new set of armor with unique effects, and even 2 new player homes were added. But a couple of other more substantial...
Imagine paying $2 for a single piece of an armor mod. Ay, this is gonna be great. This is good. Dude, I love this so much.
Mods, like a new follower featuring 1,200 lines of custom voice dialogue and even a gun, because yeah, Skyrim has guns now. I'm working on a full deep dive and review of all of these new listings, specifically comparing them to free alternatives so you can see if they're actually worth your money, so hey, get subscribed for that video. Although, as quick as many of you will be to just dismiss these as more paid mods, this is an entirely different system than Creation Club, and it has the potential to be far better. Right off the bat, things are just
Okay, so what, you're not gonna have paid mods in it? Because I'm hearing the word paid mod a lot.
formatted differently now. With Creation Club, modders are basically being hired by Bethesda to make paid mods with Bethesda. In Creation Club, authors would pitch ideas to Bethesda who would approve them and set the price of them. In Creation Club, creators were paid upfront for their work. There was no commission or royalty. They were basically just contracted employees working for Bethesda. But now we have this entirely new verified creator program.
Let me re-explain that. They're cheap labor, okay? African China cheap labor doesn't even come close to how cheap those people are.
And this is live, you can apply to it, I'll have a link down below if you're interested. And instead of working for Bethesda, it seems like you're very much so more working with Bethesda now. You're largely just applying to gain access to the storefront, because once accepted, you could kind of just create whatever mod you want. There are a few conditions, like the mod has to be original, you're not allowed to post already released mods for sale on the store, your mod can't be dependent.
Yeah, this is exactly what I said the last time. That the first reason, well, the real reason why Bethesda actually removed the paid mods in the first place was not because people didn't like it, because what does Bethesda care if you don't like something? You're still gonna probably play their stupid Bethesda game anyway because you're a spineless worm. But they couldn't actually deal with the piracy, they couldn't deal with the theft that came with the previous Creation Club. Now they are doing things differently, aka so they can manage the theft. You're not working with Bethesda. Bethesda is allowing you to keep 20% of whatever you're gonna sell the mod for if it's good. That's it.
On another mod to work. And a nice inclusion by Bethesda, your mod can't be made using generative AI, so they blocked that out right off the bat. But outside of that, with this new paid mod system, you could kind of do whatever you want as an author.
So, Bethesda is not gonna allow you to use AI generation to sell shitty games. Well, they themselves made Starfield with AI generation. 99% of Starfield is just bad AI generation. And you're not allowed to use it? They sold the whole game by just using AI generation. And now you're forbidden of doing it? Probably because you would probably do it better than Bethesda themselves.
Which is why we are already seeing content that simply wouldn't be possible with the old Creation Club rules. Take Katya for example. They have 1,200 lines of custom dialogue for this follower. That's 1,200 more lines of dialogue than what was available in Creation Club because Creation Club did not allow any custom voiced content. And even as a better example, the entire East Empire expansion feels far more like an actual DLC for the game. This is a full-fledged questline that has custom voice acting that sounds professional grade, and it's actually adding in useful new features that you unlock progressively as you do some of the quests. Again, I am working on a full review, but to me, this is the best example of how paid mods could actually be kind of cool out of all of the new releases. And in preparation for this video, I spoke with several creators who described that this new program is far better compared to Creation Club. In general, way more is possible. You're actually able to do voice acting now.
Something the matter?
You can have large-scale spanning new world mods, but you still are getting the benefits of working with Bethesda. Many Creation Club authors praised in the past how helpful Bethesda was during the development process with Creation Club. And it seems like a lot of that's...
They praised them because if you didn't praise Bethesda, they would not... Bethesda's whole thing is... Bethesda's whole shtick for existence has been for how many years now? If you do not praise us, if you do not speak highly of us, we're gonna shaft you from everything we can. Yeah, obviously people making mods for the Creation Club are gonna say, yeah, Bethesda is doing good things there. What kind of good things? Good things, yeah, because they're not actually doing anything. Everyone's just lying so Bethesda doesn't punish them. That's it. That's the whole... That's the only reason anyone is saying anything good about this.
It's continuing here, with Bethesda actively supporting those creating creations and even doing the quality assurance on these...
Actively supporting? That's a blatant lie. That is such a blatant lie.
paid releases. It's not entirely clear how this process works, but it basically seems like Bethesda handles a lot of the QA work on each of these paid mods, which of course is huge for individual mod authors who really wouldn't have the resources for that otherwise. And what is easily going to be the biggest change going from the past Creation Club to this new Creations or Verified Creator system is the lack of updates. Previously, when we would get new Creation Club releases, the game overall would have to update and break a ton of mods. Now that won't need to be a thing. Going forward, new creations can just be listed on this storefront without our mods breaking each time new things are listed. Another really big distinction here is pay. Instead of just getting a lump sum upfront like they did with Creation Club, now creators will actually set the price of their mods and get a cut of the profits, earning royalties for each mod.
Okay, so first of all, let me, again, I don't know this, but I can bet everything that I have pretty easily that the creators are gonna set the price that they want for the mod, but then Bethesda's gonna say yes or no, and if it's a no, they're gonna say no, this should be your price, and the mod is the person who makes this mod is gonna say yes, Bethesda, yes, thank you. Okay, so no creator is actually setting their price in reality for any single mod, okay? None of that is happening, and whatever other thing he said, that's also a blatant lie.
Sold. So let's say you love Kingath for his work on...
No, well, obviously, but they're gonna get a small portion of whatever, but it's not gonna be anything big, okay? The people, the Bethesda's gonna obviously take the lion's share, okay? And, okay, so even if it's, by the way, a 50-50 split, Bethesda's gonna add some kind of, single transactional fees and things like that. That's gonna still make it like a roughly 80-20 split, most likely. Yeah, if you think that the creators are gonna get a lot of money from this, think again. Because Bethesda didn't do this for the creators. Bethesda did this for themselves.
Sim settlements, you'll now be able to directly support...
And none of these creators are probably even going to be able to actually say what their split is. Because if they reveal information or say anything bad, they're out of the program. Yeah, they're out of the program. Guess what? You're not making any money now. Oh, Bethesda is going to absolutely just... these people. It's going to be amazing.
Him by purchasing the East Empire expansion, and that's going to apply to each of the authors and teams tied to each release. So of course, this will completely change the mod dynamic. Now mod authors can make way more or way less money and have a clear incentive to promote their work. The more copies they sell, the more money they'll make, and if enough people buy a creation, there's a very real possibility that a mod author could go full-time, or hey, even launch an entire studio creating content for this, and yeah, that actually already happened. Because Kingath, the modder behind Sim Settlements, announced earlier today that they're launching their own game studio with Kingath Creations. Working with some developers from Sim Settlements, they're going to be working on
oh wow, I didn't believe something like this can even happen, but that's okay.
Several smaller scale projects with an eventual goal of a full-fledged game. The first release from this team is the East Empire expansion, but of course they do have plans for more, and all the while they will be continuing to maintain and potentially release new free mods as well as creating new paid ones. And this is where a program like this can get really exciting. Teams of very talented modders working on this full-time.
That's true, by the way. That's true. There are exciting things about this. But again, Bethesda's gonna nickel and dime this to the absolute limit.
Or even just with a budget, like being able to pay voice actors is huge. It dramatically increases the potential of what we can see from Skyrim or even Starfield modding in the future. But honestly,
voice actors are the cheapest losers in, I think, the gaming industry, honestly. No one cares about them, no one likes them, and they're cheap as dirt.
That was kind of the rose-tinted glass look. Those were all of the good things about this new addition to Skyrim, and there definitely are some downsides as well. Right off the bat, some mods are broken. Many of your favorite SKSE-dependent mods will need an update, and for some, this may take months, as Skyrim is a very old game now, and many mod authors have moved on. Although, on the bright side, Bethesda did work with the Skyrim script extender team ahead of this release, so SKSE is already updated. And if Address Library gets updated shortly, a lot of mods will immediately start working. Although unfortunately, there definitely is some extra breakage, and actually on the console side this time. Due to this new menu being added, a lot of the existing UI mods are broken. So there are tons of reports of crashing, glitching out, and just not being able to edit your load order at all for console users. This again due to outdated UI mods that will need to be updated. But what I think is easily the worst aspect of this overall is including all of the paid and free content in the same menu. So when you want to go download the latest and greatest free mod for Skyrim, you're going to have to scroll past a bunch of paid mods, and this will likely
obviously, yes. If they actually leave free mods here, they're gonna be like segregated to the back or something like that. Because, well, people are gonna check out the free stuff, and when people are checking out free stuff, guess what? They're also checking out non-free stuff, and that's what Bethesda wants. So, I think the ultimate goal is obviously get rid of the free stuff. But, you know, they're gonna probably keep free stuff somewhere around here so people open the shop even if they're like, I'm not gonna spend a single cent on this. You always do. You always do at the end.
Only become worse as more and more creators join the program and start posting their own paid mods. Hopefully at some point modders will come to the rescue and add a mod that will actually separate the free and paid content into separate menus like it was before, but there are also just hard limitations with creations. When installed, these will block achievements from triggering, so now of course you can just mod that out, but achievements working was a notable feature of Creation Club that seems to not be carried over to creations. It's this weird situation where you can buy a mod that feels very official, but you can't actually get achievements with it. Creations are still not allowed to have custom content on PlayStation, so this is not going to be a rejoice moment for PlayStation users, and the overall mod space limit for Skyrim was unchanged. It seems like creations won't count towards that space limit, but you still only have 5 gigabytes for free mods. And of course, this all costs money. I haven't really focused on the prices of these new creations thus far because apparently it's all changing in a week. Right now, all of the creations cost between 500 to 700 points, which is about $5 to $7. And right now you are using the old Creation Club credits to buy these. But Bethesda also revealed that with the debut of Creations, we'll be adjusting the name.
Wait, what? Oh my god. Yo, look at this. So, 750 Creation Club points are not even 7.5 bucks. It's actually 8. Man, Bethesda even is nickel and diming this? Are you kidding me? Every other game has pretty much a 1-for-1 conversion. $1, €1 equals 100 whatever points that is. That's how everyone does it. But Bethesda, man, no. Bethesda still is gonna nickel and dime you for everything. Amazing.
And pricing of creation credit packs effective December 12th. So things may get more or less expensive. We actually don't know right now. I have to imagine more expensive, but
obviously,
again, no real idea. I imagine most of the creations will remain about the same price, so each of these running you around $5 or so. But there definitely is a concern among the community of a lot of mod authors out there just turning to paid mods full time instead of ever releasing free mods. We
Obviously, they're not gonna release free mods. Why would they?
Don't know.
Get a job, brokey.
How much this will happen going forward. Creation Club was pretty exclusive and didn't really expand that much outside of the original group of creators, but this time around it seems like Bethesda is welcoming many more people into the program to really flesh out this storefront, and some mod authors have already taken to protesting this change. Simon Magus removed all of their mods from Bethesda.net following this release, mentioning how they
Oh no. What happens though when Bethesda removes Simon Magus?
Won't participate in a two-tiered system of paid and free mods on the same storefront. And I wouldn't be shocked if other mod authors follow suit. Simon Magus has a ton of phenomenal mods, and if you're playing on Xbox, there's a pretty decent chance that you had one of his mods installed. So this will impact your load order because, again, that mod's just gone now. But like I mentioned earlier, Skyrim also just got a general update with this one, and some of these changes are pretty big. ESL files had their capacity doubled, so now they can support twice as much content, which is huge. More modders resources have been added and the creation kit updated to reflect this, but also just a ton of individual improvements for consumers. Both ultra-wide and Steam Deck support were added for Skyrim. Bethesda has finally added in the ability to natively copy and paste into the console, along with a variety of new console commands and even some new editor functionality. I'm not going to go over this individually because I think for a lot of people this won't be useful, but if you're a power user, there's some really cool new abilities and functions here, as well as just a boatload of bug fixes. Not to take an unfair shot at Starfield, but this Skyrim update had more bug fixes than the past several Starfield updates put together. But
That's hilarious, honestly. Also, the fact that these bug fixes should have been done 20 years ago. That's also hilarious. But okay.
When it does come to this paid mod system, it is all but confirmed that this is coming to Starfield. Bethesda hasn't officially said the words, but they basically did at the same time. So Starfield already has in-game purchases listed on its ESRB rating, and it even mentions a purchasable currency in its EULA known as creation credits. And notably not the old Creation Club credits, but
classic.
The new name with creation credits. And the biggest confirmation in my eyes was how on their post detailing how mod support would be coming early next year, they referenced Starfield mods as creations. So it'll likely share this exact same system with paid and free mods all being available on one storefront. And honestly, my personal thoughts on this new system are pretty mixed. I'm definitely more on board with paid mods than most people out there. I support mod authors getting paid, and if this system can really lead to more mod authors going full-time and creating truly high-quality content for Skyrim and eventually Starfield, I am fully on board. The free market nature will hopefully reward good content, as lazy or overpriced content will see less sales and in turn the author making less money. But as of right now, it's all...
Or it could turn into a giant shit show, which is more likely. But again, yeah, there are obviously positives to the idea of paid mods being easily accessible, because these paid mods are going to be way better than any of the non-paid mods ever would be. Money is a great incentive. Let's be completely honest here, okay, sugar cheeks? Money is an amazing incentive that a lot of people really, really like and adore. It is what it is. But in any case, mods don't mean a lot, okay? Because again, these paid mod things just means that Bethesda can make 1/10 of the game that they were supposed to make and then release it, and they're gonna release it for full price, obviously. So then you buy the bare bones of the game for full price, and then you need to spend like $50 more downloading different mods that finish the game to what it actually should be. That is not consumer friendly. Now, yeah, there's going to be amazing situations where someone releases a full revamp of the game as a mod for like, I don't know, $20, and that's going to be completely worth it. But those situations are going to be rare. And overall, this is going to be an L. Overall, this is going to be a huge L.
All just one big hypothetical. Maybe the storefront just gets flooded with low-quality cash grabs and immediately becomes forgettable. I also have to imagine compatibility will become a large issue in the future. It seems like the storefront's just a lot more freeform, and I imagine two paid mods being incompatible with one another and then somebody buying both will be a problem that happens to one of you watching right now. I am incredibly happy that the days of constant updates breaking mods are gone, I think. So now when new paid content is posted, it'll just be added dynamically and you won't have to update the entire game each and every time. And with how much more open the system is for creators, I would almost be fully on board, except there's one massive drawback, and that is the combination of the storefronts. Like for PC users, this entire system is basically ignorable. If the vast majority of Skyrim mods are updated in a week or two and you could resume those heavily modded playthroughs, all will pretty much be good. You could never think about paid mods again and your game won't update, so it won't bother you. But if you're playing on console, you have to think about paid mods, because if you want to go download a free one, you're going to have to scroll past a bunch of paid ones, and I hate that. If you're somebody who wants to remain a free user, never wants to buy a mod in their life, I can see how this is going to get really old.
super ultra minority of players are gonna be free users. Like, forget about it. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Hold really fast. All of the featured mods are probably going to be paid because Bethesda wants to make money. I would have to imagine that over time, people are going to have to start relying more and more on other resources outside of just visiting the store to find the best new mods to download. And I'll be really curious to see what kind of impact this has.
I wonder if Bethesda is gonna take action against sites that sell mods for the game, because the same way that companies can take action against gold selling websites, you can almost use the exact same arguments for mods nowadays, because gold selling I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not such an expert on this one, but essentially World of Warcraft can just write a cease and desist letter to any gold-selling website out there, and, well, they're going to probably follow that cease and desist letter because they don't want to get sued. Because gold-selling websites are obviously damaging the quality of the game in very tangible, viable, and visible ways, right? Now that mods are paid, mod websites can also be targeted by Bethesda pretty easily, because obviously a website that offers free mods is definitely impacting the Bethesda's bottom line for how much money they're making for mods. So I wonder if we're gonna get to the point where Bethesda is like, "Hey, Nexus mods, take all of our game mods off of there, or we're gonna sue you into oblivion." Yeah, it's a very likely possibility now.
As unreleased mods. Do we see a lot of higher quality free mods just opting to go paid instead? So my final takeaway on these Skyrim creations is it's really all just a big maybe right now. The system itself really has the potential to produce actual quality content. Skyrim creations could absolutely succeed where Creation Club failed. But as it exists right now, it's really just a system with problems, and it'll take quite a bit of time to see how much stuff is actually worth it on this storefront, and you have to imagine that there's a ton of users that are going to be really annoyed with these changes in the short.
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, at the very start, this is not going to be blatantly pay to win or anything like that. Because Bethesda still needs to iron out bugs. Okay? It doesn't matter how much thinking you do about a system like this, how much theorizing you do and whatnot. When you release it to the public, everything usually crumbles. Because masses of people act completely differently than you usually expect in these situations. And you know what happens and blah 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 blah, it happens. So the start is not gonna be egregious. The true damage of the paid mods is gonna become apparent probably in like 2, 3, 4 months, which is gonna be even more crazy. In any case, that was our boy's Juicy Heado. Love him. Anyway, this is also Quizzer Citizen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.